What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now today's video is going to be one of a couple of things that have changed with the Megane over the last, say, week or so, 2 weeks. I was planning on doing an actual entire update video for the Megane, but there was far too much footage and it was going to be far too long. So I've come up into a couple of segments, and today's video is going to be following the installation, fitment and the before and afters of the Cooksport lowering springs for the MEG. Let's get into it. Just before we get into today's video, I'd just like to mention two things. Firstly, I shoot all of my videos in 1440p at 60 frames per second. So if you have the option on the three dots, or wherever they will be, somewhere around here on the video you're watching, click it and make sure you're watching this at the highest definition possible, so you can see all of the fidelity. Also, if you're not subscribed already, then I'd much appreciate your support, because there's still a massive amount of people watching my stuff that aren't subscribed. So
mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Obviously, that's the progress we're trying to push, and obviously the more content I can get out there to the more eyes, then the quicker I can grow the channel. So yeah, anyways, jump into the video. Not sure where this will be going in the video, but I just figured I'd show you guys before they actually go on. Went for the Cooksport lowering springs. Really nice, like kind of like graphite finish. Not really fussed about what colour it is because you won't see it anyway, but yeah, these should see me about 20, well, let's say 25 to 30, and I've seen some pictures of the guys already running these, and let me try and get this one out. So look like a pretty nice bit of kit. Yeah, so it goes 25 to 30 mil, they reckon, on the MEG, which will be plenty because they're on quite a big wheel. But yeah, these will be going on very soon. So today is the day that the springs are going on. Let's have a little look at last look at her before we get her low, see what difference it makes. I'll try and replicate this shot obviously after I've put them on, see where we're at.
Look at that! Look at that! Look!
Right, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to film with today, because fitting like springs is not exactly the most glamorous job. So, but I will document some of it just so you can see the whole process going on. And like I say, it's a fairly simple procedure, fairly standard. Like, a lot of people have this mod anyway, so it's not exactly something you'd need to see how it's done. But I'll throw in a little bit of it being done and stuff when we get there. So heading down to Bill's now to get them done. Obviously they'll need a little while to settle in and get to their actual ride, but I'm hopeful, because I've seen this car on those springs on the Cooksport, so, and how much better it sits. It sits a lot flatter, obviously without compromising the suspension too much. They're only 25 to 30, and yeah, I don't think I'll be going coilovers. I won't be going coilovers anytime soon, if at all, with this car, because I don't know. It's just they were expensive for the Clio, so I dread to think how much they are for this. And the trophy suspension on this is obviously renowned for being good. You know, the only real step up from this is the Trophy R, which you all know is the Nürburgring Destroyer, and it starts at about £54,000. So I'm happy with where we are. Just going to be tyres I want to get rid of next. I want to sort the tyres out, because I'm not huge on these Bridgestones. They're quite tough and they're really loud. These Bridgestone Potenzas, they're not a bad tyre, but I think if I was to jump over to something like a Michelin PS4S or the Goodyear Eagle F1 Super Sports, they're both at a very similar price range, and I could get those on this tyre. Quite expensive, because obviously it's a 19 but a 245 as well, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, we'll get down to Bill's and I'll film some of it. I won't put too much in, like I say, because it's just springs, it's nothing too exciting.
A few moments later.
While he's got everything off, unfortunately this is a bit of a complicated contraption, so we've got to take everything off to clear the hub, and then obviously the discs off, all of this is off, and then just to access that, literally had to remove everything. Crush me, you dick. So yeah, literally had to remove all the ball joints, all of the support mounts, everything, all the anti-roll bar, all of this. And then yeah, got to basically drop it out the top now, but yeah, mish. Right, so we've got access to the tops now, top hats, so we're going to basically drop that whole side out and finish that whole side up before we end up doing all of this. That radio is so loud. Right, that's one done. Longer than expected because obviously, like I say, all this stuff had to come off. We just literally removed everything off the hub, pulled everything out. But yeah, so that's one done. We won't bother recording the other side and then onto the backs. Right, so the fronts were a bit of a mission, but they're done now. So now just going to drop the rear beam, and then obviously we'll just be able to access the springs that are up in here. You won't be able to see. Access the springs and then just quickly switch them out. So it should be a much quicker, easier job. We're about to touch down. Don't know if there's going to be much difference visually straight away because obviously being given the time to settle in, but we'll have a little look. Oh boy. That's definitely lower. Right, so we're all done. The fronts were a bit of a mission because we had to get quite a lot off to get the hub low enough to pull out the whole unit. But once that was done, the backs were plain sailing. You can just drop the whole rear beam in one go. I'm going to go this way and have a little drive. Yeah, we just dropped the rear beam low enough on some like engine stands and held the beam low enough to just pull the spring out, put the new spring in, do it back up. The backs were very, very easy, but we're just more now. We had to sort out the fronts were a bit more graft to do. I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind. But yeah, just going to go for a little drive, see what it feels like. It feels very, very alert, very sensitive. And I'm not even in sport, so just gonna let the car warm up a little bit, and then we'll do the old give it a little send, see what she's like. Actually, let's go this way. A massive shout out to Bill for helping me out with that. With the Cooksports, it sits really nicely. I'm surprised how much lower it sits on the on just springs. It's a good 30mm at least, I reckon, by the way it's sat. But yeah, like we're just gonna let them bed in and stuff before we can see where they truly sit. But it's looking like it's sitting really flat at the minute. We're just, like I say, just gonna take it for a little drive and see how she feels, because I'm really interested to see how this feels around this roundabout, because you can chuck it through this roundabout and it's quite a good test of how well your car handles. So tracking seems fine. I'm going to get this tracked anyway because I'm getting a little bit of excess wear on the inside of the tyres. So felt really nice, handled really flat there. It feels very similar, to be fair, like, which is kind of what I wanted. I wanted it to be lower aesthetically, but I didn't want it to sacrifice the ride. And it's not crashy, it's not, I mean, these tyres aren't fantastic anyway, as I mentioned previously, so I know these are partly to blame for the ride, but yeah, like, it seems really nice so far. Impressed. Hopefully we can get a clear run on some of these back roads that I love around here, because you can really pitch a car in around these, and there's obviously this national speed limit, so you can weigh into it a little bit. But yeah, obviously this is one of, at the moment, few things that I'm doing to the Meg, because it was like I'm on a budget at the moment because of things with lockdown and stuff like that, and I can't be throwing mad money at the car and stuff at the minute, because obviously it's such a new car, and I look forward to modifying bits, but I'm not going to go mad because, like I say, I haven't had it long. I've only had it probably 3 weeks or so, probably coming up to a month, and just doing little bit by bit, you know, getting it to the kind of place that I want it to be at with as far as visually, and obviously, like, I won't be mapping it until I get a cooler on it and stuff like that, so it's it'll all come in time. But yeah, the general aim is, like I say, is to be spaced on these wheels, and have the wheels done in all black, and I was looking at some like max and splitter stuff for the front and for the rear wing. I probably won't get the side skirts, but I don't know if it will look silly having the OEM side skirts with the Maxton front, so we'll see. And obviously, yeah, like the map with the cooler and stuff like that, and that's all I've really got in my sights at the moment. Obviously things escalate, as you all know, but we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, I'm not, like I say, I'm not really setting my sights on much more than that at the moment. So yeah, look forward to the stuff coming forward, and I look forward to doing the other little bits and bobs and just personalisation, you know, make it my own and stuff. So right, let's see what she's all about. The windows open so you can hear the exhaust as well. Too windy. Keep the windows done up. Oh wow. Oh my god. This thing round a corner is absolutely insane. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, this thing goes around. I haven't had it that hard round a corner yet, obviously, because I haven't had the weather for it, I haven't had the opportunity to do it, but this thing round a corner is so planted. You can see why these things were like ruin track records, because like I know they're heavier than the Mark III and stuff like that, and like Sean's is definitely faster, 100%. We've proven that recently by doing some like 40 to 100s and stuff, but for a standard car and the capabilities, this thing goes round the corner like it's on rails. It's just got, it is weird because then that's the, I could really feel the rear end, the rear steer kicking in there, because that's like I said, it's the first time I've really had it really hard round a corner, and that there was definitely, I could feel the rear end like just like turning the front end in. It's such a weird feeling, like especially mid corner, when you can feel the car adjusting mid corner to get you around that corner on the sharper, on sort of like minimal input, but like a sharper turn. It's really hard to explain. It's going to have to be something you're going to have to experience, or you know, take my word for it.